Hey, have you ever heard of Games Grabber? Games Grabber has like these collections. I have these collections of games, amiibo, camera equipment, and if you purchase it through there, that supports me. Maybe if you click the link in the description, you can check out my Games Grabber profile page. That'd be pretty sweet. I definitely think you should check it out. Like, look at all these amiibo, man. Oh, amiibo. Hi, how are you? Buy some amiibo on my GamesGrabber page.
Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality. This top 10 intro is brought to you by VectorStar Productions. There's a lot of different enemies in Super Mario 64, and some of them are just flat out annoying. Now, we won't be counting bosses, just the guys that have to be faced when playing normally. Indestructible enemies also will be counted for this list. So, without further ado, let's go!
Number 10.
So today's list starts with an enemy that you can't even kill. Say hello to the Amp. The name itself is pretty ironic considering that real-life amps take in a lot of electricity, but that's the actual meaning. Amp comes from the stem ampere, which is a standard unit of measurement for the flow of electrical currents. Wikipedia 2016! So these guys have faces and will generally fly around in some sort of circular pattern. What makes them annoying is that if you touch one of these amps, you'll get stopped in place and zapped for a good second or so. It doesn't take that much health, but trying to run through a level only to get stopped by an amp just makes me angrily sigh and shake my head. I feel like I've been violated. I mean, Mario is just minding his own business, going for a stroll, yipping and yahooing, and out of nowhere he gets electrocuted. Mario knows amps are invincible. He wasn't even trying to hurt him. What a bunch of jerks.
Number 9.
You know how almost every game has bats in it? Yeah, I learned that from James Rolfe because he knows everything. Even this freaking game has bats. They're called swoopers specifically in Mario 64, and they'll try to swoop you into pieces. Now thankfully, they're only in one level of the game, which is nice, and they aren't even that hard to avoid if you're careful. If you simply ground pound when you get near a bat, you'll kill it pretty easily. However, if you don't know that, then these swoopers may give you a bit of a problem. There have been countless times where I'm trying to long jump, and then out of nowhere, one of these bats jumps right in front of me and completely slows me down. It's so irritating when that happens. I've even had swoopers hit me, knock me off a platform, and into a pit of death. Since that terrible tragedy can happen, that's why they're on this list, even though they aren't the most challenging enemies to defeat.
Number 8.
Man, if you think Klepto is an ugly enemy, have you seen what they look like in real life? This type of bird is called a condor. Here's a picture. Ugh, yeah, they're pretty nasty looking. So, Klepto's main purpose is that he's holding a star and you have to knock it out of his hands. So that in particular is manageable, but once you start getting stars that don't involve Klepto, this bird will become a problem. He'll dive down and try to either attack you or steal your hat. Yeah, that's right. Klepto is a freaking thief, and a good one if you aren't paying attention. If Klepto happens to steal your hat, you have to get it back yourself. The game ain't gonna give your hat back to you, you gotta get it yourself. Like, what a jerk! Why does he want my hat so badly? I guess it's revenge for stealing the star, but still! A hat isn't as valuable as a star. Well, in Mario's case, it kind of is since he takes more damage without his hat on, but that's besides the point.
Number 7.
Have you ever imagined snowmen coming to life? I figured you have because you're imagining yourself nod your head. Well, have you imagined it throwing snowballs at you? Yeah, probably not. But that's what Mr. Blizzard does. He pops his body out of the ground and chucks a bunch of snowballs. This is another one of those enemies where if you're not paying attention, it's pretty easy to get hit. Thankfully, you can kill Mr. Blizzard by just running circles around him, but that's the only way to do so. There's no stomping on their head or anything simple like that. I actually didn't know you could kill these guys until like 2 years ago when I started speedrunning this game. Yes, I do speedrun this game casually. You can watch my runs on my Twitch page. Anyway, shameless plug out of the way, Mr. Blizzard really blizzes my balls. And you know what? I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but I like it that way. It keeps you guys on your toes.
Number 6.
So look, for my top 10 coolest Mario enemies list, I put the bully on it, spoiler alert. Now just because I called him cool doesn't mean he also can't be annoying at the same time. Because he is. The bully's main goal here is to push you into hot lava, and that's pretty much it. They always look pissed off too, like come on, what did Mario ever do to you? Now of course you can knock them into the lava simply by pushing them back in, but that doesn't mean fighting, say, 3 of them at once isn't annoying. Most people that try to fight 3 bullies instantaneously will easily get pushed into lava. In Bowser and the Fire Sea, there's a couple bullies there that are so obnoxious because you'll be climbing up a steep platform or something and they're just standing at the edge waiting to push you back down. They're so mean-spirited for no good reason. I think he just needs a friend to talk to. To the bully species, you can talk to me. There's someone there for you. Just leave a comment below and tell me what's upset you. We'll talk this through and make it all better. Call today.
Number 5.
It's the Montiest of the Monts. Monty Moles are little gophers with 1 buck tooth that throw rocks at Mario. Real nice, huh? Now what really makes these brats annoying is how easy it is for us to get hit by these rocks. They quickly pop their heads out of the ground and throw rocks almost immediately after. There's been several times where one of these rocks have hit me and I've fallen down a pit and died. I have even seen speedrunners lose runs due to these guys. That's how bad they can be. And the worst part is, you can't kill them. All you can do is jump on their heads and they'll disappear temporarily. But they'll come back later on. They seem to appear in the worst places too, like in Tall Mountain. The Monty Moles are right next to a huge pit. At least they don't throw wrenches like in Super Mario Bros. 3. That would just be a straight up nightmare fuel, and nobody needs that in their life.
Number 4.
Heave ho, I don't like you, you make bones black and blue. Now this guy can be helpful in some scenarios. As an example, in Wet Dry World, you can use him to get to higher areas of the stage, but that's all he's ever going to be worth. Otherwise, Heave ho is obnoxious to deal with. Even though he can be helpful, getting him to throw you in a certain direction is very difficult. He trails your path down like a zombie, and you have to be facing the opposite direction of where you want to go. Too many times have I used Heave ho, missed my target, and then unintentionally get launched by him again because after falling and missing, I'm knocked out and can't move. He's kind of fast too until he runs out of battery, of course. The biggest disgrace is that this guy is also in Tick-Tock Clock, which is one of the hardest worlds in this game. If Heave Throw throws you in this world, you're very likely to die since there's not too much ground to stand on to begin with. Even worse is that this robot has a small grin on his face the whole time. He's just like, I'm the best, yep, he gets smarty. So let's just throw that there we go. So much fun.
Number 3.
Oh god, now we're getting into the really bothersome territory. This is Snuffit. You might think by the name that he's just trying to sniff you into his body or something. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, that actually sounds pretty terrifying, but instead he spits out in succession 3 black balls, and they can honestly be very difficult to avoid. The velocity of these balls is just ridiculous. I get hit by them all the time. The thing is that there's not much of a cue when Snuffit is going to spit these balls out. He kind of puffs up a little bit before, but it's not much of a warning. Now thankfully he is pretty easy to kill, simply jump from above or below him to take him out. But still, I don't like the Snuffit.
Number 2.
So here we have the Fly Guys / Fire Guys. I'm putting both of them on here because they're practically the same. They might not look that annoying, but trust me, they are. What the Fly Guys mainly do is fly above you and swoop down and try to attack you. Now what makes them annoying is that it can be hard to see them come in sometimes. There isn't really any sort of pattern as to when they're going to swoop at you. It's pretty much whenever they feel like it. Killing them with a jump does cause you to spin around like a pretty little girly girl, so I guess that's kind of cool. I honestly hate it when that happens. It's only amusing to watch the first few times. But then there's the ones that shoot fire. Oh my god, man. Their little fireballs not only auto-aim, but they're incredibly fast. Not quite as fast as Snuffit's balls, but still fast enough to be hard to avoid. So a combination of the completely random swooping and fireballs makes for a dastardly combination. But there's one enemy that is worse than this. Oh, believe me. And now the number one annoying Super Mario 64 enemy is... Say hello to the Flame Chomp. Now these Flame Chomps don't look like the usual ones with the faces and fireballs and stuff. However, from my research, this was the only name I could find for them, so if it's wrong, let me know below. But look, It's the balls that you can't kill that shoot fire, that's all you need to know. These guys have to be the worst enemies ever created. I mean, they're just fire-spitting machines. The fire follows you too, so you can't just jump out of the way and call it a day. Some of you may not count this as an enemy, but I do because it's a small obstacle that's trying to hurt you. Just like everyone else on this list. He's a pain in the hiney, and like I said earlier, you can't kill this freaking thing. So maybe you'll enjoy my top 10 coolest Mario enemies list if you like this one, and maybe even my top 10 of the most annoying Mario characters. Feel free to give this video a like, that'd be pretty cool, and hop on the bandwagon and follow my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Tumblr! Woo, that was fast. Now, look, I know you guys just woke up and you don't want to get out of bed, but the world is calling for you. Maybe just a few more of my top 10 videos, and then get a nice stretch, let out a big yawn, put on your slippers, and get your day started. I'll speak with you all soon. Thanks for watching, guys.